Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally, Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes, they meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the science media cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
To the Alternative Dig Talk TV. It is a fresh Monday here at Dig Talk, and we are coming to you live from Uganda's capital, Kampala. We believe this week has started very well for you, and if it is not going like that, we do pray that everything goes on well as you expect. It is really exciting to be here to give you the mighty global news updates here in this mighty drive show, a show that runs Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. up to 10 a.m. We do have different guests, and we always discuss matters of national importance, but we always bring in the updates first to keep you informed, such that you know what is happening in our country, Uganda, or even know what is happening abroad. We learned that now the peace talks are ongoing in Geneva to make sure there is a lasting peace in Ukraine. This comes after Russia and Ukraine, of course, now ran into war, and several attempts have been made to make sure that stops. That story and others are coming in here. These are some of the stories that we are bringing in here this morning to keep you informed. Of course, the princess is already here. She will be taking you in the entire mighty drive with our guest. Now, starting the updates this fresh morning, the sad news we learned is that now the killings in Bukoma and Simbi, the police has now found out more evidence from the suspects that were arrested following the killings that were happening over there. The police says they have 7 in detention so far, and this was confirmed by Masaka police spokesperson Tuaha Kasirye, saying that they so far have 7 people who are linked to the killings that have been happening in this particular area of Bukoma and Simbi district, saying that now there has been some relationship between these killings and that they have been termed as ritual-style killings, or they appear to be influenced by some traditional healers, or the people are being killed, especially the women, as according to the orders of the traditional healers in some of these places. But this is still a developing investigation, and the police is still giving in more updates about these people. But the killings in Bukoma and Simbi are not happening for the very first time. We remember that the machete killings of 2016 and 2021 started from these particular areas of Bukoma and Simbi, and now we see murders of women happening in the very area as well. Now, residents came out and said that all the people that have been killed, including Aisha Rwemirembe, have been killed in a similar manner. After killing them, some of their body parts removed, and this has been happening on almost every individual that has been killed by this group. Now, one of the suspects, known as Moses Kabogere, said he was given 100,000 Ugandan shillings, 100,000 Ugandan shillings, saying that he was given this money to kill Aisha Rwemirembe. So he says some of the groups he worked with asked him to now murder this woman, that he was there to assist, and that's what he did. That a tipper came, a truck came there, and it had other goons who now attacked Aisha Rwemirembe, and she was killed. He said a group of others were also there to assist, and this the police said this will help them find out more evidence on what has been forcing these killings. But when they checked some of the houses of these suspects, they found out that there were some items, some pangas and clothes of the women that were missing in these areas, because some women went missing and their relatives were saying they never knew their whereabouts. Now police found out that in one of the residents' home there were some clothes and other tools, they say, were used to kill these people. That is it in Bukoma Nsimbi. The police says they are ready to make sure there is a lasting peace in this region, and the investigations are ongoing, with suspects being brought to locations that are suspected to be the crime scenes. Now, moving on, yesterday NUP supporters clashed with the NRM supporters in Mayuge district. This the two camps, competing camps now, Honorable Waira Majegere as camp and NRM's Elkana Ekoro clashed in Mayuge district after having misunderstandings. These people were not supposed to have a campaign rally in the same area, but they ended up now meeting in the areas of Mairinya and Busira, where these supporters went hard on each other and fought, leaving many of them injured. 8 of them were confirmed injured in these fights that occurred in those particular areas. And this continues to be a very big concern, as most of these politicians or different groups of politicians meeting in certain points are now fighting. As you see on that screen, that was one of the people that were injured over there. And now Honorable Waira Majegere's camp has not yet responded, but so far NRM's camp, that is Honorable Elkana Ekolo, says this was due to NUP's camp, that it was the one that resulted into these people getting injured, and that they are the ones to blame. So far we have not yet heard from NUP's camp to know what really caused this and why it still remains a very huge problem. The Electoral Commission had come out and condemned these acts, but it seems they are not going away. And now Honorable Elkana Ekoro says the Electoral Commission should now remove Honorable Waira Majegere of NUP from this race. That is it over there. And now heading to the 2026 general elections that are heating up each passing day. Each day we are drawing closer to that day come 2026, where Uganda will be now deciding who will be the next president, who will be the next member of parliament, and other positions or elective positions. Now, Honorable Nadala Nathan Mafabi was in Sironko, a place or district he has represented for over 2 decades, and he was welcomed warmly, saying that he worked for them very well in those 2 decades, and that he is the right president for the Republic of Uganda. He talked about some of the good things that he had contributed towards the development of that particular area of Sironko. And now he asked the people of those areas to vote him as Uganda's next president. Thousands of people were there, many escorting him wherever he was heading to. Town to town, he had a hero's welcome over there, and the event climaxed with the commissioning of the new FDC offices in Buyubu Trading Center. General Grigore Mugishamuntoera was also in Manafwa, asking the people of those particular areas to also vote him into office. A race that is very tight. 8 people in the race, but only one shall be now declared winner if Ugandans, of course, choose them. So we are waiting to see who of the 8 candidates in the presidential race will make it to the top. Is it President Museveni, who is already in office? Will he retain the flag? Will he come back in his agenda of protecting the gains? Or Ugandans will choose any other individual in this race? We will always be here to give you more information regarding that. So what you have to do is tapping the subscribe button and you join us officially. You join a platform that is trusted by millions of people across all our social media platforms. Our social media handle is at The Alternative TikTok everywhere, and we are also on TikTok. You can check in TikTok TV. On TikTok you find some shorter clips that we always cut out of these mighty and insightful segments. So that is it. Now NRM was also in Chotera, NRM camp, mobilizing for support in that area, an area that is now being taken over by opposition leaders or opposition candidates. Honorable Haruna Kasolo, Minister, lost to John Paul Mparanyi of NUP. We see Geoffrey Rutaya also as the Member of Parliament for Kakuto, Fortunate Rose Nantongo, Chotera woman Member of Parliament. All these people are now in opposition, and now NRM was trying to reclaim that region. They asked the people to remember what the NRM has done. Minister Haruna Kasolo said he is there, and if the people of Chotera trust him, he will deliver the best. He says he is ready to deliver, and that the NRM government has done a lot for them, and it is time for them now to reward the NRM government and vote them back into positions that are now taken over by opposition. This remains a strong point in NRM. They have to regain this particular area, and we are waiting to see if that really happens. The opposition team says they are now taking over, and we see that happening. The NRM camp is insisting on bringing these people back to NRM and voting NRM into office. Several top officials in the NRM party were there, and that was the event, of course, asking the people to now choose NRM, saying that they have worked so hard. The NRM government has really contributed a lot, and it is time for the people to now reward them and vote them into office, that they have not benefited from these opposition leaders that are there. Minister Haruna Kasolo says if these people want development, they should vote the people that support President Museveni, and that is the only way they can have whatever they want. Now taking you in our international news, the Russia-Ukraine war has claimed a lot of lives, and now there has been attempts to make sure this war ends. This is a critical moment. Every team, every individual praying for a ceasefire, praying for peace in Ukraine. The European Union came out and said this war had to end. The United States of America has been saying that this is a war that should end. President Donald John Trump says that this war should not have happened. This is a war he inherited, and that it should not have happened, and that if he had been the United States of America's president, this war would not have happened. And now he says he has fought so hard to make sure this war ends, but it remains a very strong challenge. And now Geneva is hosting Ukraine peace talks. Delegation from the United States, Ukraine, and other European allies are holding discussions. And on the table is a 28-point peace proposal to make sure the war ends in Ukraine. We saw Marco Rubio, U.S. Secretary of State, there, and he said they were making some good progress. Andriy Yermak, Ukraine President's Chief of Staff, was also there, and he said there has been some good moves that could contribute to lasting peace in Ukraine. However, the challenge remains. What next? Will these peace talks yield results? Because there are some of the difficult things or difficult decisions the Ukrainians have to make. Now, like surrendering some land to Russia and abandoning NATO, that the Russian government says they should not join NATO at all, and that they should reduce their armed forces. Something that is seen as difficult to accept. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky had said that all they want is peace. But now the challenge is, will Ukraine accept to reduce their armed forces, abandon joining NATO, and even surrender some land to Ukraine? The land that Ukrainians have fought hard for. And now this remains, of course, a question that can only be told or answered by time. We are waiting to see what comes out of these peace talks. However, many say that these talks are probably not going to yield results, as Ukraine is not ready to surrender some land to Russia, and a country that here Ukraine says invaded them, and that they are. Many people say that Ukraine is not ready to surrender land and to even abandon NATO, because joining NATO would mean that now Ukraine is strengthened, and Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, sees that as a threat, and that as NATO draws closer towards Russia, it is a security threat to now Russia. And Russia is ready to fight with all her energy to make sure now Ukraine does not join NATO, and that is it over there. The peace talks are ongoing in Geneva, and we are waiting to see what really comes out of this. But many say there will not be lasting solutions for this, that Ukraine may not be ready to surrender some territories to now Russia. Territories that the Ukrainian people and the Ukrainian armed forces have fought so hard to protect. And that marks the end of our mighty global news updates. I was with Emma and Ryan on camera. Catch you some other time. The princess is already in studio. Good morning.
The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hi, Roger.